Libertarian Party is.
Yeah.
So the entire national is running on that?
This is just the state seal.
Okay. Oh, and the national is paying that for each state?
No,
Okay.
They're charging us to participate.
All the states, but not national.
Not national, okay. So it's nationwide of the states, but not national. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it seems like between 20 people, we could switch to that pretty quickly.
Well, it's another,
Chunk of money, yeah.
$550 a month. If the states can come up with $550.
So are we contributing a percentage of that?
No.
No, it sounds like a good deal so far.
Free is really good.
I don't think we're gonna complain. But it is like distractingly slow, so maybe
Yes.
we need to talk more.
Well, based on some stuff I've read, a poor response time is 10 seconds or more.
Oh, well, it's not that bad.
Yes, it is.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
El Paso County's runs a lot faster.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But they're paying a little bit more.
No. Oh, yeah.
We're paying nothing.
Yeah, they're paying.
Well, I've only got one
$15 a
user,
year.
so.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're further up the hierarchy.
Everybody have a good New Year?
Still in.
Somebody did.
Yep.
Come on. There he is. Now we can start the meeting.
Hey, Steve.
Hello.
Hey, put that down. Where did you get that?
What did you got?
It went on and got himself a Coke.
Oh, that was mine. He was trying for yours. Just throw it. Fetch. Wait till he bites through it.
Oh, he loves to bite bottles.
Oh, okay. Well,
He can play with a water bottle for minutes before he tears it into little pieces. Good grief. Go get us some beers.
yeah, seems to be. You could handle that.
At the club, they wanted to teach him how to.
Is there anybody that we
chapters.
are expecting that is not here yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock.
Perfect.
Has everybody read the agenda for tonight?
Yes. Yep.
Is there anything you'd like to add at this point?
I have an issue on the agenda to discuss later.
I
in the
actually have
agenda
added that as a, or put that in.
Because what I found, and we can talk about how we want to handle this, but is things appear on the agenda after they're already on the website.
But
So,
that's on our agenda.
yeah, I put it on. The
Oh, you
agenda.
did? Okay,
I put
thank
it on
you.
the agenda.
Yeah.
So
Because some
And that was one of the
us
things
Just
that
there.
we were kind of keeping lax,
Buck.
but I'm with you. I think we need to.
yeah, and as long as you bring up the agenda, if there are people remotely and they're looking at the agenda on the website, my point is that if there's items added after the agenda's been placed on the website, they should be repeated at this point in the agenda. So
We'll
that
put that into the business section.
Wayne, did you get my two items that I sent around?
I only saw one, Dave, and I put one on. Number two. Motion to spend $9 for Spark Post.
Well, they're both regarding the website.
I sent this out about,
I saw it at 5.
Wayne's edition just
3
says
o'clock.
motion to discuss the new website. So you had several things regarding the new website.
Oh, so maybe cover it there.
Yeah, if that's what you're referring to, Dave, I do have that on here.
Okay,
All right, we have one guest. Would you identify yourself, sir?
I'm
And
Mark
so,
Bailey.
okay,
How are you doing? I'm a Libertarian from
trying to live a libertarian life and not play in this politics world.
Well,
Self-defense
thank you
dictates
for coming.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Legislative things is what's concerning me right now.
Where'd you get that?
All right, has everybody read the minutes from last month?
We did get some comments, those were corrections were made.
No changes heard. Right, the minutes are approved as written.
The table's falling apart.
Okay, officer reports. I had added a couple things since I posted this on Wednesday. I was lax in my report. I was able to get 9 national members this month.
Oh,
And,
then.
we all need to be putting in that same effort. And the amount of people that we have as national members representing the state of Colorado has a significant effect on the amount of delegates we have. We have to push for that. I don't want to be the only one doing it, guys. I need your help. So I need everybody to, when you go to your local meetings, when you're talking to your friends, ask them if they're national members. If they're not, get a hold of me. I'll get a form to them if you don't have a copy of the form.
It can be done online, can't
Yeah, oh yeah. And we have the shirts at my home. So if they sign up longhand by mailing in a form, I can provide the t-shirt from my home. Just need to know what size and what color they want.
But if they send the form in the national, how do you know?
Well, if they send it in the national, they'll get the t-shirt anyway.
Oh, from national?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if they fill out the form and give it to you, then you're obviously, then we have to go through the long-handed way to do it.
Okay.
There's also an option right now, if you sign on the national web page, you can get a copy of Wes Benedict's book as well. So it's another option if somebody would prefer the book or the t-shirt. The Rocky Mountain National Park cleanup, we got there. There's 15 people showed up.
Nice.
The park was clean.
You should add a cookout while you're there.
Well, there was another group of libertarians that were there on Friday, or excuse me, on Saturday. And I don't know if they the different spots are. Hey.
Sorry.
But the park was clean, so we just went down, found a breakfast house, and had a meeting. And it was very good. Got 2 additional members, national members there as well. And a couple people that had an interest in starting a local group. And I gave them your contact information, Steve, so they're going to reach out to you.
Which county?
Larimer. And what is west of Pueblo?
Keller?
King City area.
There, get out.
Fremont, that's it, yep. So we stirred the pot on that one, that was very good.
It looked like there was some press on the fact that you got there and it was clean.
There was. Denver posted an article.
Yeah.
And it was picked up through Complete Colorado as well.
Yeah.
So it was,
It was disappointing. I drove my truck up and I already made arrangements with the Douglas County dump to take it for free, the trash for free.
Cool. That's what to do.
Because of what it was. They didn't have any trash to bring back. So, all right. That's all I had to add. Ms. Pogue?
nothing to add.
Point of order. We seem to have a new guest. Do we want to do public time?
Yes, thank you, Michael. We have 3 new guests out there. Would you identify yourself, sir, so that our records director can put it on record?
Yeah, my name's Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. Kyle what?
Fury, F-U-R-E-Y.
Okay.
Dean Goodbye, new Denver, just moved here to see if I can get involved and volunteer.
Good.
Everybody look at me.
Yeah,
Sure, Blake Huber. I'm here on behalf of Frank Atwood, who can't be here tonight, to report on our CRC meeting, and that's about it.
So
Have
we'll
something
hear
here
it
from
quick.
Matthew.
Matthew's not coming.
Matthew's not coming.
Thanks for coming, guys. And actually, we have, you're correct, Mike. Well, we'll get to, when we get to the, he can identify himself when we get to that point. All right, nothing to add, Michelle? Okay. Mr. Hirschman, what do you got for us?
Nothing to add?
How are we lining up this year compared to where we were last year? Have you done a comparison yet? It looks like we're stronger this year than we were the same time last year.
I think so.
Okay.
Just see the pants, but I didn't look back there to actually compare.
Okay. Ms. Tavendale.
Just one thing to add, Kara Schultz sent out a request for local candidates, so we've been getting a really good response to that from people looking to run as candidates both locally and for next year, so that was good.
I've been sending you candidate, potential candidates to the tune of probably 3 or 4 a week now. And guys, I'm getting more inquiries than I've ever received, to the tune of about 8 or 10 times more than we did the same time last year. A lot of inquiries that are going to Mark, and he's sending out a letter of introduction, bumper sticker, information on the county party, if there is one where they live, or if there's one nearby. And we're getting a tremendous amount of inquiries right now, stuff that we never got before.
You think it's the response that's doing it?
I'm not sure what's driving this bus, but I think partly it's, Mike, I haven't reached out to any of these people myself. I've been putting this in the lap of the people that are responsible for that. But it seems to me as though just the interest in the Libertarian Party is growing significantly right now, which is very exciting. And obviously, Lance is doing a great job on social media. Our emails that David is doing for us, I think they're having a great effect. But we're getting people that are calling us that are not libertarians that want to know more about the Libertarian Party. And we've been, in the past, we'd get maybe 3, 4, 5 a month, and we're getting 20 to 30 a month now. I mean, it's significant.
So where are these people signing up, on national?
National.
Okay,
We're getting them directly from National.
okay.
And in my campaigns committee report, I'll have more.
Okay. All right, Mr. Branson, what do you have for us?
Just one addition, it's kind of indicated in my report. I would like to make a motion that we take advantage of the early bird registration discount for Cinco de Mayo, which is due tomorrow, to save $100 from our fee, provided we all want to participate again this year. I assume we do. And also on the lane, probably between now and the next meeting, probably get information on this fair and Pride Fest as well.
Okay. Are there early bird discounts for Pride Fest or People's Fair?
I'm not positive, and things do change. I noticed this year on the Cinco de Mayo, we had the issue down south with having to have a 501(c) in order to qualify as a nonprofit, and Cinco de Mayo has just implemented that this year as well.
Okay. Do
So
we still get the discount without that?
we can get the early bird discount. We don't get the
Okay.
nonprofit.
So what's the price?
And what showed on the website was $400.
Do we have the
I don't
Spanish
know if that
language
was-
form still or not?
Uh,
We still have Spanish
Some.
language quizzes and the like?
You have some.
Some?
We need more.
Got to dig through the archives and find the original soft copy files and print some more stuff up.
Would you like to have make a motion to have that considered?
I would like to make a motion that we approve early bird registration by tomorrow and spend up to $500 in support of Cinco de Mayo.
Second.
Okay. Any objections to that? Okay, the motion to approve the participation in Cinco de Mayo and have Kevin, how do you handle that, Kevin? Do you pay for that yourself?
Yeah, I put it on my credit card and then I send a bill to John.
Okay, all right, that passes.
So I give you some extended terms on this.
Perfect. We get to keep your money for 30 days?
29.
Okay, is there anything else you want to talk about, Kevin?
I don't think so.
Okay, I noticed on your report that you were indicating that you're not going to be seeking reelection.
I wanted to give a 1.5 year notice.
When are you up?
2020.
And run for president.
Okay, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there.
Well, here's an interesting idea, and you know, David has been real
Oh, I thought
keen.
so. I thought that was.
David has been real keen on everybody having this document that tells a replacement how to operate. I'm taking a little different tactic. I would like to find my replacement and train him in for the next 1.5 years.
You bet.
So that he's ready to go, hit the ground running. Because I'm not gonna do this. Guys, I'm old.
My mistake. I should have read the Constitution and seen
But,
when
you
you're
know,
up for election.
It's time to get some young blood in here.
It's not our fault you have the truck, Kevin.
Okay. Mr. Gallant, what do you have for us?
Let's see, I'm having trouble with my Gmail. I don't know if anyone else is opening it. Just having issues.
The format changed for me, and I struggled with it for a little bit, but I figured it out.
All right, let's see if I need to reconfigure it. And then I had a question for the Mesa calls. Did you email all of those people?
I emailed all the people in Mesa County that we had emails for,
Okay.
which is quite a bit less than the people we have phone numbers for.
Right.
So most of those people have not heard and won't hear unless we call them.
Okay. All right.
And that is on hold, as you probably know.
No. But I can't open my emails, so.
Okay, Mark, I sent out the email with the proposal to call all these people. Mark replied that he has a conflict with Tuesday night. He scheduled something, or his wife scheduled something, and it's kind of up in the air now, and he's trying to figure out what to do next. And I haven't heard from him yet, so.
Well, if you need to send another email out, let's do that.
Okay, well, we don't know when the February meetings are going to be.
Okay.
So it's on hold till we find that out.
Steve, I noticed on your report that you noted that next you plan to work with volunteers in Weld County. Denver's ready to go right now.
And that's the other thing I was going to bring up is they've got their sort of kickstart meeting on, is the 17th or the 19th?
I don't recall.
I talked to Victoria about it, and
Denver?
yeah.
Denver,
They're still doing the third Thursday or third Tuesday.
Denver is meeting tomorrow, I think.
Right, but she wanted to promote I don't think that Victoria was able to go to this meeting, but she's going to the February one, and so that was when I think she wanted to have you.
Well, we were going to do a separate kickoff meeting that is outside of their regular monthly meeting. And Daryl found a place. And I don't know if is Daryl communicating with you right now, or is it just through Victoria?
Not directly, yeah, I just talked to Victoria.
Okay, she's out of town right now. She won't be back for another 10 days, I don't believe. But when she gets back, let's get that one done first before Weld County.
Okay.
Because I know that they're ready to run. I mean, they want to start putting things in place and start formalizing it and getting it going.
Right.
And they want to do the exact same thing that we did with Jefferson, because that turned out to be a real hit.
That worked well, yeah.
That did. And that's exactly the same way that we need to do it this time. And Denver's ready for it. So let's do that before Weld.
Okay.
If we can do it both the same month, that's fine. I'll come to both meetings, just let me know when they are, and we'll do the same plan that we did at Jeffco.
Well, and I maybe I'll go with Larimer and Fremont, if they're ready to do something.
Well, they're in the infancy stages here. Like I said, let's put the effort on Denver first.
Right.
And then we have, I don't know if this will ever happen or not, but we have indication that Weld County is ready to get up and running, as you indicated in your report. But I haven't seen any further talk about that at all.
Right.
So on social media or anywhere else. So I don't know if anybody is stirring the pot right now to try to get people involved or not.
I believe I did get an email from Matt about it. That I can't remember what it said right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I had about 3 contacts, and I think Matt had maybe another 3 to 5 people that he was talking to.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have no issue with doing both of those the same month. I mean,
I have not.
it depends on the timing and the schedules. I'll make it fit in my schedule as long as you give me notice.
Right.
And that's something you're going to want to be there as well, Steve. But the other board members, if you want to come as support, that's great, but you and I have to be there.
Right.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add to your report?
No, I think that's it.
There's nothing on the Denver Libertarian Facebook page about anything other than tomorrow night's meeting. So,
Well, that's because we haven't made that contact and scheduled the time.
so if you're going
Daryl
to do
has
anything
found
in the
another
next 30
meeting
days, it's a
location
little
for us,
tight.
though. So when Victoria's back, let's sick her on this. She wants to dump this in Denver's lap because she actually lives in Douglas County now.
Right.
And it's kind of a struggle for her to be involved in Denver. And we had a couple people that said they might have an interest in taking at least leadership position, even in a lower space, to do something to help.
Right.
But we need to get all those people involved because right now it's a social group.
Victoria mentioned someone that she thought would be a viable candidate for that job. I don't, she told me the name, but.
She mentioned that to me too, but she didn't tell me who it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not Daryl.
Mr. Stapleton, are you with us on the phone now?
I am here.
All right. What do you have to add to your report?
I wasn't able to get a report in with the computer issues and just returning briefly from traveling. I've been going through and reviewing legislation. So far, 83 bills have been dropped into the Senate and 109 into the House of Representatives, or the State House. So I've got my work cut out for me going through some of those. I'm working now. I was unable to do it before I left and before the holidays of getting the committee organized so they can start helping review some of this legislation as well. The language is up for the proposed public health care, universal health care option for the state. So I will be going through and reviewing that and making everybody aware of that as well. Some other activities I've got going on. Thursday night, I will be at the Jeffco Libertarian meeting, going over some of the proposed legislation and talking about the upcoming legislative session, what to expect, and do a brief overview of the legislative process. And then Saturday, I will be joining the Rally for Our Rights folks at the March in Denver. And then myself and Mr. Pickerel are meeting next week to get the Pueblo County organizational stuff rolling and our plan of attack put in place so that we have that ready to present to regions and the board in February.
All right, there's a young couple that lives up in Canyon City that I met at the Rocky Mountain National Park cleanup that are going to be reaching out to you and or John. They want to help with the Pueblo Development Group.
Okay.
So they're on board until there is something or enough support in their county. They're going to want to join you down in Pueblo. So you have a couple.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we would in turn, if they wanted to get something going in Fremont County, we would absolutely be more than willing to help them.
Beautiful. Anything else?
Not at the moment. I'm just trying to play catch up from being on my travels, and it's been an eventful week.
You have to heal up from your vacation.
Yeah.
All right. Next would be membership. And
Question?
we have Mr.
Chairman?
Excuse me, go ahead.
Michael?
Yes.
Did we do anything with the Libertarian legislative loving and we were going to do in February? Is that?
I have not heard anything from Matt at membership yet. So now that I'm back, I need to get with him and get that scheduled so we can get that lobby day organized some way, somehow. We've had requests from several people for it, so we really need to get something in the works and get it planned and get it rolling.
Who else involved in that, Michael?
It was going to be a combined effort between myself, outreach, and membership.
Okay.
Do you have a good date in mind? Let's just proceed.
Let me look at my calendar real quick.
Thank you for driving that, Kevin. I think it's going to take that.
My thoughts on that were somewhere around the week of February 11th. The 11th's on a Monday. So anywhere, the days that work well at the Capitol are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, some of the legislators are around, but not too many. That kind of break things up. There's more committee meetings going on Tuesdays and Thursdays than there is Mondays and Wednesdays. So it's likely to catch more legislatures in passing to the committee hearings. Mondays, they're typically a little bit longer in the morning session, but the committee hearings are a little bit lighter in the afternoon on Mondays and Wednesdays. My recommendation would be to do Wednesday the 13th.
I already wrote that down. 14th's a holiday. Somebody's got plans.
Yep.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and set that up, guys. Let it go.
So if we get it going on the 13th, I mean, we're roughly a month out. I think that's plenty of time to get things put together, get notification out to the party members, get an event posted, and really work to encourage people to get down there and connect with the elected.
Sounds great. Let me know.
And I will. I'll get with the Capital Events Coordinator because I'd like to get a brief press conference either in the main entranceway to the Capitol or on the steps of the Capitol in conjunction with this. Basically just a brief statement from the chair of the party and myself as to our goals and our intentions of libertarians lobbying the legislators that day.
All right, dynamite. Thank you, Michael. Anything else?
That's it for now.
And we have his membership, and we have Mr. Eric Mulder is in for Matt. Did he ask for you to add anything to his report?
Nothing to add to the report.
Nothing to add to the report?
Nothing to add to his report.
Guys, as you know, we passed off the responsibility to reach out to donors, and I took the top part of the list and Matt took the bottom. There's no indication that he called any of those people. Not a one. Now, if anybody did anybody get a call from, we didn't get a call from Matt to ask us to bump our donation up. Did anybody here get a call from Matt?
I didn't. Did you call people?
What's that?
Did you call
I
people?
called them all.
Okay.
I promised the board I would do that, and I did that.
I got a call from you.
Yeah, I
You
didn't get a
did?
call from Wayne.
I didn't turn it.
You're not in the top,
That's
top list. Mike.
I'm down at the bottom.
You're on Matt's list.
You could change that, Mike.
That's right, if you'll
No,
change.
no, no, I think it's alphabetical. That's pretty hard to change.
If you'll change your contribution now, I'll call you tomorrow.
Hard to change an alphabetical list. But yeah.
So how much do you have to donate to get on your list?
Yeah.
$500 a year or more.
Oh, I'm probably not on your list.
Okay.
Well,
Is Lance online with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Mr. Psycho, what do you want to add to your report, or is there anything?
Nothing to add. Everything's going smooth. We sort of lost a volunteer, but I'll pick up his slack.
Are you advertising for a replacement?
No, I'll handle it. I'll just handle it. We've got
It's easier.
herding cats. You know that. I've got enough cats to herd.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Spalding.
The only thing I had to add to my report, I have nothing to add to my report, but I did have a question. We're gonna talk about the park post later.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we're talking about email hosting. Jeffco recently set it up, and it's only costing us $3 a month with Bluehost. I don't know if we can do better through the CRM.
Hmm,
You indicated
probably
$5 a
not.
month.
That's outside of our structure.
Okay. So you would recommend that affiliates stay outside the structure?
No. If they want to, okay. As some of you may know, I submitted 2 agenda items, which we'll talk about later. One of them was web hosting and email for the affiliates, and the other had to do with the national CRM project. So I'll cover those when we get.
Anything else, Mike?
No,
Any
that's
other
it.
questions? Okay. Standing committee reports. Mike, what do you have for us?
I got nothing. Looks like I gotta help you out with your email account. But yeah, we can talk about that after this. And I don't know if anybody has any questions for me or anything.
Would you reach out to Victoria Reynolds?
Okay.
She is our new fundraising director. Give her access to the fundraising director email. Make sure that all her information is updated. Ask her if she has a decent photo that we can put on until we can take a
The
more
fundraising
formal
director.
one. Yeah, fundraising director. That's Victoria Reynolds. She is out of town, but I think she is within at least Facebook range. I think.
Does she have an email address that I can contact her?
I'm sure she does. I don't know.
Her
what it is.
email address is mvictoria_Reynolds at
REYNOLDS.
Hotmail.
And I'm excited to have Victoria on board. That's why I wasn't in a real rush to try to do an emergency meeting like we ended up doing because I knew she wasn't going to be here tonight. But she's now in place and she's excited about it. I met with her and went over the job responsibilities and guys, most of us here that are in this room right now are doing a pretty good job upholding what we were elected to do by the delegates. We need to be really cognizant of what those are and make sure we fulfill the requirements. We all put it on most of us put it on the top of our board reports, what our obligations are as outlined by the Constitution and bylaws. We need to make sure that we take care of those items first before we do anything else. And if we do the items that we're called to do and that we were elected to do first, then we can, throw our hat into other things. But those obligations have to be taken care of first because we're entrusted by the delegates to provide a certain service. And it's really important that we do that. Okay. Database, what do you have for us, Mr. Aiken?
Well, nothing.
Nothing, we're gonna talk about it in the new business, all right.
Yeah, no, let's just talk about it in new business, I guess.
Okay. We have several ad hoc committee reports that I'm gonna ask about. We started a committee to reach out to local groups. Has there been any movement on that?
I've regularly spoken with the outreach director.
I'm not on that committee. That's a different thing.
Legislative committee. Michael, where do you stand on that?
This week, I'm going to get a meeting scheduled so we can get the ball rolling. Like I said, going over my report and stuff, I just, with the holidays and everything, I just ran out of time to try to get stuff organized. I've had people who are interested reach out to me, making sure that it's still going to happen. I'd like to get a meeting scheduled within the next few days if everybody can meet up and get that done and get the ball rolling and hit the ground running. So I've still got a lot of interest and excitement about it. So it's going to happen.
Well, the time is now.
Yep.
Okay. Stavndale, up front.
Nothing to add. A comment on the report that I submitted, but one of the things that I had talked about previously with the candidates' information coming in from national, it's just phone number, email, address, and I have no freaking idea where they are or what district they're in or anything like that. So one of the things that we had talked about in the campaigns committee was a form that I had made up to ask candidates whether or not they're, what districts they're in, whether or not they're registered voters as Libertarians, whether they're national members. So I've been working on an online version that we can just email back to with a welcome email to everybody. And our next meeting is the 20th of January on Zoom. See you, Lance, if you need an invite to that. And I'll be emailing it around to everybody prior to the meeting so that we can have a look at it and go over. It just seems to be a more accessible thing for young people.
Yeah.
But it also provides a lot more information. And I've been trying to set it up so it actually says that if you aren't, or if you disagree with the statement of principles or you don't support the NAT, oh, sorry, that's a requirement for running in Colorado.
These records that come in from national also go into a new database as a candidate campaign. And if they're also in the database, I think somehow they get hooked up to the record that's already there. Now, maybe that's a manual process and I'm just not familiar enough. But if they're registered Libertarians, they should be in our database, and that will have district stuff on it, district numbers.
That's nice, but I have no idea where or how to find that information, how to knit it together, how to disseminate it to everybody. It's just kind of that might be out there.
Okay.
And so my big thing is I'm getting information from emails from several different people. And the only way that I know to do it is that I take the information that I get from those candidates, I put them into a spreadsheet that everybody on the campaigns committee can access. Then I email them the online form, they fill it out, the email comes back, that information goes into that spreadsheet. So
okay, well, I sent you login information, and I'd like to sit down with you sometime in the next week and kind of go through how to get in and what to do.
Okay, my calendar is kind of booked out until the middle of February.
Okay.
So it's booking season with weddings right now, and I am running 2 wedding businesses now. So I am
okay.
A one-legged man in a butt kicking contest.
Okay.
Would you reach out to David when you know your schedule's
Yes.
gonna free up?
Yes.
Okay. We put together a
This
policy.
campaign lady,
Yes.
this is one of the reasons I didn't want you to be chair of that committee.
I didn't want to be chair either.
Okay, we need to find you a good, strong second. Some
Some volunteers,
volunteers.
Was there
Maybe they can help
anybody
you
that
out.
came to the meeting do you think might be willing to step up that was too shy to speak up?
I'm not really sure. I know that Josh would really love to be more involved, but with the amount of information that has to go back and forth, and he's only got his
Yeah.
phone and so on
Yeah.
and so forth,
I think that'd be hard on him.
I think it would present quite a challenge at the moment. So that will be an item on the agenda as to.
Okay. By the way, Matthew has stepped down from his involvement with the campaigns committee.
Oh.
Because of his involvement with the state party as well as the board officer, as well as being on the convention committee. So he has stepped down.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Oh, Lance.
Yes, Lance, go ahead.
I'm going to be at LibertyCon on Sunday, or coming back, flying from DC. So Kim, is there any way you could lead that meeting with the spreadsheet and everything? I think Karen Ann has all the login information in an email she sent to us for Zoom. So sorry it's late notice, but I didn't even realize until I looked at my calendar this week that I won't be able to be in that meeting for campaigns committee.
Not a problem. I will reach out to Karen Ann. We'll get that all sorted out.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
We're good.
We started a policy manual committee. Where do we stand on that one, John?
We had one meeting. We've established a schedule of 1 week. We'll put like everybody's individual assignment online, and the next week we'll have another meeting after we've looked stuff over to discuss it and do the next assignment. But so far we've just had the one meeting.
Okay. You have another one scheduled? Are you gonna have to schedule another one?
We're every second Friday.
Okay.
We're having meetings.
Okay. All right, keep us apprised as you make progress, and if you would, please put together a committee report to include with your regular board reports.
Okay.
So that we have a record of where you stand. Same thing with you, Kim, with the campaigns committee.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, if you would do that with the legislative committee as we go forward, that would be
What are we doing?
good. Just putting together a simple report for your committee.
Uploaded.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, one of the things we talked about, guys, earlier this year was putting together an issues committee. And that never got off the ground. But I think it's time for us to talk about it right now, because I think the Libertarian Party of Colorado has a significant opportunity with the writers that we have and with the exposure that Lance is gaining us to become very, very well heard throughout the state of Colorado with policy positions. And the issues committee is something I think it's time to kick this in the butt and get it going. Do you guys remember who was stepping up for this committee? I don't recall. I left my notes at home. I have all that, but I don't have it with me. Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to take the lead on this one here and find out who stepped up and said they wanted to be involved. I know, Michael, you said you wanted to be involved, didn't you?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Anybody else here in the room recall you said you wanted to be involved? Okay. All right, the last we have is the style committee. Mr. Seebeck is on that committee, but he wasn't able to make it. He is very ill, so he wasn't able to make it up. But I know the style committee has completed their work, and they have presented There are proposed changes to the platform committee, and we've already met once. The changes will be presented to the entirety of the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, but we don't know who's on that committee. So, Mike, if you would go back through and re-listen to the last meeting and find out who was all on that committee.
Was that on the
Constitution and
December
Bylaws? It was either last month or the month before, I don't recall.
Do you remember?
John was on.
I'd just like to point out that is exactly what the policy manual should be for. You go to the policy, and here's the committees, and here's all of them, and it's up to date all the time. It should be your job.
Policy manual? I don't think so.
Was that?
I will write some good
a
policy.
I know, Michelle, you were on the
Yeah,
Constitution and
I
Bylaws
lead
Committee.
myself. I think David Atkins was on that, and Andrea from Arapahoe County,
Mhm.
and Mike. As far as I know, those are the only names that I know.
Yeah, Karen Ann was setting up
Cat's
the
on
members and
platform.
offices, so she would have the list. I mean, I'm looking at the minutes.
Kat is on the platform committee. Andrea's on the bylaws committee. Eric, would you make sure that I get her email address? Do you have it?
I do. I've sent this email about 5 times now. Various people. I've sent it to you, I've sent it to Lance, I've sent it
Send it to Mike
to
Seebeck.
Matt.
Mike Seebeck is the one that needs to have her contact
All right,
information.
what's his?
He asked that today. Back and forth today, she was the one that he didn't have her email address. So if you would send that to,
What's his
Mr.
email?
Seebeck.
What's his email?
No, get a message to him on Facebook Messenger.
If anybody wants to make note of Andrea's email address, it's Wednesday167@gmail.com.
That's cool. So, Wayne, you asked that we go back to the previous meeting and listen to it to hear who the members are, but we have the members.
If we have them all, I think we're good then.
Okay.
Because we have Michelle, David, Andrea, Mike Seebeck, and I think Karen Ann was on that one as well.
I believe so. And I believe Mike Seebeck is the,
Sir?
if I remember right, Mike Seebeck was the chair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was volunteered.
All
right, next we have Convention Committee report. Has everybody gone into that and read what's happened so far with the Convention Committee?
Wasn't very much.
Matt was able to get Tom Cranwitter as or did you reach out to, Matt did that? I think Matt did that. He was able to get Tom Cranwitter, who spoke at our convention last year. And Tom's a great guy and a great speaker. Unfortunately, it's going to cost us $500 to get him, but he's going to contribute one of his courses in order for us to auction off, and that should cover a good portion of the cost to bring him in. So that's fantastic. But we only have 2 speakers. So if anybody has any other ideas on speakers that might have, I don't know how many people we've contacted that have turned us down. But
I sent Matt a list of speakers that we're looking for conventions and stuff to go to, including some guys from Cato. So I don't know if he's had a chance to go through that.
there's nothing in his report to indicate whether he's reached out to them or not.
Okay.
So I don't know. Eric?
Hey, Mike, will you send that list to me?
I'll look for it.
Thanks.
Okay. Eric?
I've been in regular contact with the people who work for Vermin Supreme, and I spoke to him about if he was interested in going to a state convention, and he said he is willing to attend any state convention and include a screening of the documentary that was made about him in exchange for travel and tip. And I personally am willing to pick him up from the airport, take him back to the airport, and I'm willing to chip in money towards his travel expenses.
You have a link to the video that was made about Vermin Supreme that you could send to everybody?
It's a documentary called Who is Vermin Supreme? It's available on YouTube to rent for like $3.
Vermin is a very, very solid libertarian, but I don't know if he's the type of guy that we want to have. Does anybody have an opinion on that?
He's brilliant.
Michelle?
I think that he is entertaining, and I think he'd be a draw.
You think so?
I think, I would agree that he would definitely be a draw. He's either love him or what the hell is this wacky guy up to? Kind of a.
He's a good, solid libertarian. I spoke with him at the unconvention in Nebraska. And he's actually a lot sharper than you would think. He's a sharp guy.
Definitely is. So I think people would come to either find out just how crazy he is and be pleasantly surprised. So,
Crazy like a fox.
Yes.
And then another resource for speakers would be the ones that Boulder have the speakers Boulder is in.
They've had quite a list, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have a
they
lot
do.
of- and I don't know if you guys.
Ralph.
Ralph,
No.
Well,
I might have his, I'll find his stuff.
having more names is great, but if we don't call them, then it has no value. So I think it's time, we gotta start making some calls, guys. It's the middle of January. We're 3 months out.
We're selling tickets.
Good.
Yeah, how many have we sold?
Well,
Okay.
I didn't know
We
they were
got
available
25%.
There'll
yet.
be 5 when we're done.
cool.
And just last question here. Are we still sticking with the convention theme of old school liberty? Because if that's the case, you want me to try to reach out to D. Frank Robinson, see if he wants to come by?
I'd love to have D. Frank Robinson come out. You bet.
Yeah, if he can make it. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'll ask him.
Money's very tight for Frank right now, so to see if he can make that happen or if we have to help.
Put that down.
But we can't help every single
Yeah.
speaker, obviously. We have some limitations on the money that we have.
Speaking of which, your question about how we compared last year, we're about $5,000 above last year.
Okay.
That's good for the convention.
Well, that's even more than what I thought it was.
Yeah, more than I thought it was too.
What about seminars? Are those being scheduled yet? Do we have?
Michelle, you were working on that right now. weren't you?
Yeah, we have a list of ideas for seminars. A lot of it will depend on who we can find to do those seminars.
I'll throw my hat in to do a development affiliate class again if you'd like, Michelle.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody else has anything else? We'll go ahead on to new business. And the first item is we have a motion to spend $9 a month for Spark Post email services. I'll make the motion. You have a second?
Second.
Okay. David, would you speak to this, please?
Okay, Civi CRM, which is the new platform, does a limited amount of emailing, but it doesn't handle the volume that we need. So there is a service called Spark Post that, depending on how much you want to pay, will handle as many emails as you want. And for $9 a month, we get up to 50,000 emails, which is more than enough to handle our business. We do probably minimum of 15, probably 20 to 25,000 per month. So this is, I think, a really good deal. Yes.
Do they have some way of keeping it out of everybody's trash folders?
Spam.
Yeah.
I believe so. And one of the things we're going to do is I'm going to, they suggest that we start small to build up credibility with them in terms of sending out a number of emails at one time. So I'm going to start with the small counties for this next news blast. It'll take me 4 or 5 days to get through the entire list, but by the time I'm through, we should be doing probably 800 to 1,000 at a time, and then we can step up and do our 7,500. Yeah.
How is this better than the MailChimp?
MailChimp, I think, is $75 a month.
That.
Yeah, $72 better.
Do we have any further discussion? Any objection?
A quick question.
Go ahead.
Is that $9 a month, is that every month you can cancel at any time, or is it by a specific?
Yeah, you can cancel at any time. It's month to month, although I'd like to find a way to, for example, pay for a year.
Yeah, get a discount.
If there was a discount, but yeah, if it's, it's something new, if it doesn't work out well, we can leave it and find another alternative.
Yeah. The nice thing about SparkPost is that National has integrated this with Civi CRM, so apparently it's transparent, so that we don't have to export records and take them to MailChimp or something like that.
It's
So
a
that
time
will-
saver for you then.
Yeah, a real time saver for me.
With every $1.09 then.
Somebody can make a motion.
The motion's been made. Do we have any objections? Okay. The motion to spend $9 a month for the SparkPost email services has passed. All right, the next item of business, discussion to cut off for additions to posted board meeting agenda. And I think this is a great idea. Kevin, would you speak to that?
If we want to hold to the same schedule as board reports, then if there should be additions to the agenda, I guess they would need to be presented to the chair in advance of Wednesday.
I would prefer that anyway, to have any motions brought to me before I put them on the agenda, so that I can make sure they're perfected and then put on the agenda correctly. This is one item that we kept kind of lax, but I'm with you. I think we need to tighten it up. And I think your timing idea is good.
I just personally noticed in the past that I would print out the agenda when David posts everything on the website.
Yeah.
And I would bring my copy of the agenda, and then when you say, is there any additions to the agenda, I'd look at that and say, that looks good to me. And then when we get to the agenda, there's items all of a sudden that appear that weren't on here. So anybody else, and I'm here.
I've been guilty of that. I added a couple items this morning.
So in fairness to those people that are coming in remotely and they're trying to follow along on the agenda that they found on the website, if they're going to be additions after it's placed on the website, they should be reviewed at the beginning of the meeting when we're talking about the agenda.
Okay.
And whether we want to do that on Wednesday, or we've been running this schedule where David actually loads it somewhere between Friday and Sunday. If we wanted to have a little more flexibility where you post the initial agenda on Wednesday, people can go into the drive, they can look at the agenda, they can say, I'd like to add this and this and this, and add them at that time, because everybody can add them physically on the agenda on the drive. And then if David wanted to say, if it's absolutely going up on Friday, then he could.
What day would you normally post the agendas, David?
Well, I have all these people who are late with their reports.
Have we ever been 100% on time? Has that ever happened?
And if I had the reports on Wednesday, if I had all the reports on Wednesday, I could post them, Thursday.
Why don't we go ahead and tighten this up, and we'll say any motions that want to be heard under new business need to be sent to me before Wednesday, so I can get a person on the agenda, so David can get them up with the board reports.
And then anything else we bring up.
Any additions
Yeah.
would be,
We can still it.
but they would be reviewed at the beginning of the agenda so that everybody knows what's on the agenda.
Right.
The beginning of the meeting here.
No, I think that's a great idea, Kevin. That's one of the things that we have not tightened up, but I think that's a good idea. This is something that we should probably have in our standing rules. I don't think we have to formalize it beyond that. So I'm going to go ahead. You're going to do that, Mike?
Wayne,
We'll go ahead and, yes, David.
you want me to be mean and cut things off Wednesday night?
Yes.
Okay.
We start the meetings at 7 o'clock here. We don't wait until after that to get started.
Okay.
So we all have a responsibility. We have an entire month to put our board reports together. There's no reason that we have to be late. I've been late once too. And I try to be very cognizant of getting my board report done on time. But I think that's something that we have the responsibility to make sure that our reports are up so that it can be on the website and the delegates can see our reports and see what we're doing. So yeah, go ahead and be a hard ass, dude.
Okay.
And so if reports aren't up, then they just have to report it during the meeting.
Yeah. They can still post it, but it just won't be on the website.
Maybe on the drive, right?
Yeah, it'll be able to try.
There'll be an unhappy face underneath the name of the person.
You know, come to think about it, guys, I think we do have to take a vote to add something to the standing rules. So Kevin, would you like to make a formal motion on this?
I guess the formal motion would be that the agenda will be posted to the website on Wednesday, and any additions after that time would be verbalized at the beginning of the board meeting.
Second.
Okay, further discussion? Done?
Standing rules are the second part of the policy manual.
Okay.
So that,
Okay, good. We'll get it added into there. We have any objections? Okay, it has passed that the cutoff for agenda items and motions will be sent to the chair for Wednesday. Will be posted on the agenda, and then David will post them on the website.
On Thursday.
Thursday or whatever day is good for you, but I don't want, I've been frustrated all along that David is always under the gun because of late reports. That's not fair to David. So, thank you, Kevin. Okay. Next item that we have is move that we discuss the new website. David, would you go ahead and speak to this, including the items of interest that you sent to us by email earlier today?
Okay. We are up and running on the new website. I think it's going as well as we could expect. We've still got some issues to deal with, and let me cover those now. A fairly minor one is that, number one, I'm allowing county affiliates to have up to 5 web pages on the new site at no cost to them. This is to allow them web content without having to maintain a separate website.
Is it a templated website for the affiliates here?
What?
Will there be a templated website for the affiliates?
A what kind of web?
Template.
Template? No, not really. I'll have to think about that.
More than likely, we can find somebody each one of the counties has to have somebody that's a volunteer that's working with them that would have some capacity to build a website. If we had a templated website, though, that would make life a lot easier, as long as it's not nice looking site.
Yeah, Delta County is up right now, so you can look at theirs and see what they did.
That guy.
There is currently no email address that goes along with this, but we can, according to the technology director, get extra email addresses for $5 a month. The affiliates could and probably should be charged for these. These email addresses could be of the form xxx-county@lpcolorado.org. And there would be a burden on the technology director for setting these up and management. So that's the first item.
Is that an extensive thing, Mike, or is it pretty simple?
You're talking about the groups thing or the mailing lists?
I think we could have a separate group for the affiliates and just put them in there.
Do you want to put them all to have one email address or something?
Each affiliate would have their own address.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like it would be Denver@lpcolorado.org or Douglas@lpcolorado.org.
There might be, I mean, I could probably together like an app or something to automate the process, but you give me a list and then I'll tell you how extensive it is.
I don't know if anybody's going to use it yet.
Well, this would only be for affiliates that want one, and if there's a cost, are willing to pay for it.
I think that we can get around the cost.
Okay.
I don't have to look at it.
Steve, would you take the reins on this one and reach out to all the affiliate leaders and then put them in contact with David and or Mike? Which one of you guys should be the contact that the affiliates call?
I probably could.
Yeah.
Okay. So Steve, if you would make the contact with their regional directors and then put them in contact with David and tell them that it's time to belly up and make some changes. And we have a mechanism. And you think you can get around the $5 a month? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I would do is forward it to their email addresses. Although I don't know if they could say that. But I mean, I can look into it. So.
Okay, look into it. If you would get with Steve DeLon, tell him what you came up with, so that when he contacts the affiliate chairs, he's providing them accurate information.
Okay.
And does that include development groups as well?
Sure. Yeah, as far as, any local group that we have that wants a couple of web pages, where the Denver affiliate and our contacts are, Joe and Ron and Susan, and
right.
Here are bylaws, and maybe that's it.
Mike?
So if an affiliate already has a domain and they just need somebody to host their web pages, can you host the web pages?
I don't see why not. You can point to lpcolorado.org/Jefferson County. Yeah.
Couldn't we also do like jeffersoncounty.lpcolorado.org?
What?
We could also do like jeffersoncounty.lpcolorado.org if you wanted to.
I suppose.
It's just a subdomain. You could even point it at a different website if you wanted to. As long as we approve it.
Douglas will be in contact with you guys. We have a couple guys in Douglas that are reasonably adept at website stuff. Mike Lopez as well as just Matthew are both. Ask me what a website is, I might be able to give you an answer. But those guys are pretty sharp at it. We discussed it very briefly at our last meeting, but we were very short on time because we were doing the meeting just before the Festivus. There was a time problem, so we can get through all the items that we wanted to get through. But we'll discuss it at our next meeting, and I'll put them in contact.
Okay. For Douglas County, I saved all of your content from LPCO, so we can use that.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Second item, the website, or more accurately, the database behind it, is a work in process. We are more on the bleeding edge than I expected us to be, given that there are 19 states already on the system, which means that there is significant functionality that needs improvement. In addition, the system is slow and hardware upgrades cost money. So three major areas need looking at. One is email processing, and Andy Burns was supposed to get back to me today about sending out our twice a month email blast, which I was hoping to do tomorrow, but that may not happen. He's apparently working through some issues. I emailed him last Thursday, I think it was, and told him exactly what I wanted to do, and he came back and said, well, I need to look at that.
And he's been pretty good about listening to your input, David. I've been watching the conversations. He's been pretty good. He asked me to make a call to him a couple of times, and he's been very responsive.
Okay. The second item is phone bank management. I posted on what is it called? The Slack forum for the CRM project about what I wanted to see in a phone bank management system. And I didn't get a response, so I think we've got some work to do there. We'll see what happens. And the third thing is system standards. I think Andy's doing a little flying by the seat of the pants right now, probably buried. And there may be others, but this is what I've noticed over the past couple of months. As most of you have read, National is considering tiered support for the website. Free gets us 1 hour of support per month. And believe you me, when you're talking about software, 1 hour goes really quick. $90 a month would get us 3 hours per month, and $100 would get us 5 hours per month. As a reminder, Nation Builder was costing us about $3,000 a year or $250 a month. While this is not a formal plan yet, I would like us to consider the $90 per month plan, which will not only give us priority handling, it will also help pay for some of the improvements that the system needs.
I'm guessing, go ahead.
Sorry, did I hear you right saying that $100 gets us 5 hours a month?
No, 180.
180, okay.
It's 90 for 3 and
180
for
for
5.
5. Okay.
How much do you think we need, David?
Well, I really don't know, and I'm hoping I can deal with most of the problems. But I think 3 would be a good start. And plus, we're helping fund improvements to the system, and because the system is slow, National needs to purchase more hardware or software or whatever.
Yeah. Guys, I don't know if you're aware, but National is really struggling financially right now. And they're picking up the cost of this right now for us. And I think that at least for a while, we need to belly up to the bar and give them support that will provide support to us as well for getting everything up and running. And we can always drop down the level of support that we're asking for at a later time. But at this point, I think we need to belly up and send them some money. They're spending a lot of money and they're not charging us anything for it other than the support. So, Mike, go ahead.
Oh, just related to that, are we going to continue to pay for Nation Builder for a while at the same time in order to maintain our database?
We're not going to be using it, so, but yes, I think we paid up front for the entire year, and that runs out the end of March.
Sometime in April, I think.
So we'll have a couple months of overlap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that give you a chance to swap everything over from the nature thing to the specific CRM? Is that enough time?
We have already moved all of the information.
So David, the monthly amount is how much for what you're recommending?
$90
a month. Okay, well, I'll make a motion that the state of Colorado, Libertarian Party of the state of Colorado, spends $90 a month for tech support, new CVRM database and website. And then we will review this in 3 months and see if we can drop down. But for at least 3 months, $90 a month. Do we have a second from anybody?
Okay.
Discussion. John?
We've got like $2,000 set aside today for Nation Builder. That it's going to go back into the available funds. We're not. Well, that's a good thing.
We'll give them bastards another nickel.
That's right.
We want to pay 180 instead and get the 5 hours and also give them more support to hopefully buy some hardware and get this faster. The website's really slow right now.
I think that frankly is a great idea. So you want to amend my motion, Mike?
Dave, can you use it?
I'm sure they can use it.
They can use it.
But do you think you might use 5 hours?
What?
think you might use 5 hours in a
Get the
month?
database. issues taken care of.
What 5 hours will buy us is priority handling for anything we do. And given that we're one among 20 states or something, that's probably not a bad thing.
Kevin?
I have two questions. I don't disagree with anything so far. Who provides this support? Is this a staff member at National? It's not somebody that's with the software company?
No, it's national.
So question number two, you indicated on Slacker account.
Slack.
Oh.
That you have is it people from each state that are participating in this? Will that continue to function kind of as a user group so that you can all help each other?
Yes.
So there's additional support available there.
Right.
Okay. But given all of that, I still support the 180 a month for 3 years.
So we amend Mr. Harlow's amendment for a motion to 180.
Okay, so we will be voting on the amendment. So the amendment is to change the motion from $90 a month to $180 a month for 3 months. Then we'll reevaluate at the end of 3 months. We have a second?
Second.
Any objection? Okay, that passes. Now we are to the main motion, which is to, just like I said before, to spend $180 a month now for tech support for the new CVRM program. Do we have any discussion? Any objection? Okay, that passes. You got it, David?
Okay, thank you.
That will help National as well. And, they really stepped up on this one here. And like I said, guys, they're struggling. So money's tight. That's another reason why we have to get more people to join the National Party. A lot of people that I met at the road cleanup when we went out for our late breakfast, they didn't even know they could join the National Party. So nobody's called them. Nobody's reached out to them and said to them, "Do you belong to the National Party?" Well, gee, I didn't even know I could, or I should. That's because we are not making the phone calls, we're not sending out the emails. And as a matter of fact, David, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to send out an email. I'll put the verbiage together for you to all the Libertarians of Colorado asking for people to join the National Party.
Okay.
And we need to get our numbers up, number one, for our delegate count. But number two, we need to get support for the National Party right now because they are struggling. Okay, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about tonight?
If I could just, I know that some people said in the email, but David, well done on the whole transition.
Yes.
Really, truly.
Yes.
A lot of work.
Nothing else? I have a motion to adjourn.
You want a report from?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, and
Center Coalition.
did all of our guests get a chance to say something?
Hey, we can do that. Go ahead and give us your report, Blake. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the only thing, or the major thing that Center Coalition is talking about is Tabor, and getting behind Tabor. And they're asking everybody to not call it Tabor, but to call it the Taxpayer Bill of Rights.
Yes.
Many states have tax limiting legislation. We're unique in that we have a Taxpayer Bill of Rights.
Good deal. Anything else, Blake?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything back there? How about you?
Just so you're aware, you're in Denver. You've gone to the Denver meeting. Okay. The Denver meeting tomorrow night to dive in on Broadway. Time 6 o'clock.
6.
And a good time will be had by all.
All right, dynamite, guys. There. We already had a motion to adjourn and a second. Any objections? All right, we are adjourned. was a quick, easy meeting tonight.
Saying exactly what the affiliates can get as far
Have you
as
guys
the
heard about
website and everything.